And well, um, I have to start it with the um, thing that maybe working for community, whether it's a job of professional or commitment of a person to serve the community. So I think what I want to share with you actually, it is not because I am an activist or I am a professional for working with community, but every university in Indonesia have, it's called three duties, or in Indonesian three dharma of the university. So the three duties actually covering all of the student lecture or alumni or civitas academica should have an attitude, a principle, responsibility, or commitment related to these three duties, which are to provide qualified education and teaching, especially staff, and then to conduct research. When I was in Europe, in especially in Germany, almost all university in the world only have two: is provide qualified education teaching and to conduct research, not for the third, that is commit for community services. So this one making almost all the university in Indonesia have to work for this three, but especially Gajah Mada University, we have a concept that teaching in a classroom actually is not enough, because usually in the old paradigm they have a just like giving a lecture and then teaching for examinations. Then if a pass, then they have a good grade. But teaching to learn, uh, somebody can understand how to do something actually related to the real world, or what we call as a living laboratory. So the gap of the classroom and the real world has become our concerns. And for that one, we can do this or doing the third task, that is community services. So our university has been a long experience in 1951. And usually top down, we have to provide a teacher's needs outside Java, for example, and then coming into more bottom up for understanding poverty post-economic crisis, for example. And later on in 2007, United Nations University in Tokyo well assigned Gajah as a research regional center for expertise, especially on sustainable development, which is uh, basically because they seeing our university have been empowering people, working for people, and one of the interesting thing is student field work, or in Indonesian term is KKN program. But when I was students, I have to live for 3 months in the village, but nowadays maybe 2 months, or if we are choosing a village in outside Java, then become 1 month. But we have to help. We have to help the people there with their own with community problems. And uh, student field work, or KKN for undergraduate, is continuous till today and become one of the excellence project program of our university. And for undergraduate, of course, we also doing, but it's not in within the curriculum. But both student field work for undergraduate and also graduate students usually uh, driven by the lecture, the experience of the lecture, spirit of the lecture, or the connection of the lecture. So it's really connected each other because we have a spirit for working with community, although we are not always professional. So this is one of the example in 1998. We are only taking care for the blind person or blind people in Indonesia, and we start a project empowering ourselves, empowering the people with disabilities. We call people with different the walkways or walkability in our city, and then now is already spread over a whole countries from 1998 to 2008. With this one, we work actually close to. I just stopped in this place, right? How we work for community, and this is just example of our works in 1998 with students, people to create accessible uh, city walk. And I think in 1998 there is not many people carrying of the blind persons in public space. This is one of example, and then we work for many cities. And nowadays we are not working anymore, but the local government, every cities have been continues to create accessible uh, city walk, especially for people with disability, including the blind persons. This is Malioboro today. I think Nariman has been also there. Actually, we designing on not only for wheelchairs but also senior citizens uh, in the future, and also working with community post disaster is also one of the voluntary exercise of all students and also staff. Here, I think Nariman and also student from European countries in 2006, yeah, if I'm not wrong, is coming to our university and learning with us. And while
2005.
we 2005, yeah, yeah, 2000, yes, 2005. And while we also implemented directly in Aceh, and after that we evaluated 2006. We working also for the lady of president at the time, working for also more on settlement, but still also transitional settlement in Aceh. And then we working for our city after we struck by the um, earthquakes, and we use the student field work for we call thematic for helping community post earthquake in our city, and this is one of the implemented housing program 2 months after the earthquake. I think before the government project was implemented. So I have been also in Austria, presented here in some other countries, some other university to share this one. And also still post earthquake related problems, which is helping people with disability to cope with their own daily life, especially when going into bathroom, WC, and so on. So uh, Marapi also become our activities because we are just next to the Mount of Merapi when they erupted in 2010, and we're working also with people there, and still continue till today. But today's why we working in Kampung. And what is Kampung actually? Maybe for Indonesian um, people is very understandable, but by simplify the definition is the people actually living in a city, but they are happy with the culture of togetherness of their rural origin because they are living in the urban area with the urban limited resource to live. So uh, almost they started with the limited resources to live in a kampung in the city, and some people, or we can understand that they are marginalizing actually in many ways. But of course, they still can survive and can improve their living um, environment in a kampung because the kampung have a really good togetherness, have a mutual aids together and so on. But still, we call uninhabitable house exists in the kampung. So we started to working in this case, uh, especially marginalized kampung people who don't have proper houses, even really worse comparing the other kampung house in the same kampung is called Kampung Rica. So PRI actually bank is called Bank Rakyat Indonesia is a wider one of the biggest bank in Indonesia because it's spread over all of the Indonesia, and rakyat is mean people, so should be for people. And in the same time, Gajah Mada have a visions very famous. It's called kerakyatan. It's pro to people. But what's people actually we have to help? Um, it's called work for rakyat, work for community. But in this case, why we involve in this program before the BRI, the Bank of BRI, have been asking us to help the Merapi post-eruption Merapi for facilities for I think agriculture. I'm not directly involved, but then they contact me after that. But before that one, I give the lecture of many cases on uh, how we help people post a disaster. And after the lecture, one or two students coming into, I mean, coming to my rooms and asking, uh, if there is a disaster, he say like they say like that. We want to help you, and I say that there's no one want to have a disaster, and they are surprising because although we often working for disaster, but we don't want to have the disaster. Then he knows okay, uh, better we don't work for disaster rather than uh, you asking that one. But the problem that the fortunate things, PRI 1 2 days after we will work for we discuss with the students, asks us to help them to help the people in one of the kampung in Yogyakarta called Kricha, especially for um, uh, improving the house. It's called in uninhabitable houses, or in Indonesian you call tidak layak huni, or not proper houses comparing with the standard. houses. So this is the started why we involved in this one, and because we every case of community participatory always has different things, and we gather with staff. So this is one of the young staff is Tony Wiardianto is started to do survey, office survey for um, understanding whether this Kampung that the BRI Bank want to us to help is really need our support. And then I asked a student who want to help me in a disaster, but I said I'm not asking you to go to the disaster prone area, but we work for our neighbors, a kampung preacher. So then they work for to see to select which one the house which uh, proper to be selected. So this is one of the process defining a cluster, and then we trying to see a cluster of the worst environment in a kampung, and then we try to evaluate. This is one of the evaluations. The first time we give a free choice of the students to have a method, and this is one of the method. They try to see um, uh, pro- project that related to government. It's called formula. They want to see what the condition of tile, what the condition of the roof, what is the condition of the walls, so that they give a mark on every family on the cluster that we select, which one is need to have priority, need to be renovated, need to be renewal, and so on. So which one is already good conditions. So then we seeing one by one on the cluster houses and make a note, make a sketch, and trying to first using the government formula is called Aladdin. A is atap or roof. So we see whether the roof is in a good condition or not. And this is one of picture of the family two, family four, family three, and this is the houses. Sorry, this is houses, not family. And also can be also looking at the ceilings is good or not. In this case, the RT is the small unit of the neighborhood associations. Usually consists of 15 to 40 member of family, and here RT5 is seems the structure of the atap or roof is good. So, and then we're going into the lantai or la of Aladdin. Its lantai is floor. We found that they still use the well at ground level like soil, but some others using the cement floor, and this is the situations. And then the tin is actually dinding or walls. So we looking at the because these clusters mostly have the traditional house, but in degraded condition because they're using bamboo and the old bamboo, and they don't have any money for repairings, and some others using the multiplex and so on. So we looking at one by one of the family, but the problem is beyond the Aladdin formula, we seeing overall of the houses is worse. So this is one of the non-Aladdin formula is house condition itself, the structures, and then the room condition. You can see how the sleeping area or bathroom is well, maybe they are okay, but for us is we cannot do that, we cannot sleep that one. But because there is no choice of them. They just live in these conditions. And the kitchens also the same. Usually kitchens is was a dirty kitchen. And also another things we try to see the healthy aspect is lighting and ventilation conditions. Usually is dark, small opening, and not good ventilation. Of course, is using the woven bamboo, was nice because there's a small porous so that it's not really close like the brick walls. But the bad condition, the bamboo is not help them to be more healthy. Besides, also the lighting is not also enough for penetrate to the inside of the rooms. This is the worst of the worst. In the bathroom, washroom, and also uh, the WC or latrine. It's called MCK. In Indonesia, it's a very famous MCK. So you can see the situation. Of course, there's public MCK here. The public MCK is good because it's supported by the government, but for one MCK can be used for 4 to 5 families. This is good. But they want to have their own, but they still have not good condition. So then this group of the students in RT 39, they use of trying to see for house with multi-families. In one house, sometimes they live by extended families, 3, 2, even 5 families within one roof. So this is maybe it's become priority according to our evaluations. And then which one is uninhabitable, which one is uninhabitable houses. So the red one is uninhabitable houses. And then also which one is land owner status is clearly defined or they understood. For example, this red one with the 5 families in it, maybe is one is the status is good, is clear or defined, but for which family, because there are 5 families although they are one families, but the 5 families should be decided. This is also one of the problems when we want to give the support for the uh, houses families. So then we decided this one, green one, only small renovation, but the red one we have to totally dismantle and then reconstruct these houses because to convince ourselves that the structure, the room arrangements, and also other aspect of the healthy house have been improved. So this is one of the method. The other method is they understand they directly into not Aladdin formula, but going into one by one of the rooms to see which one is good, which one is not good, which one is worse. So this one we then seeing uh, other groups looking at one house with a one case, and the second one is one house lived by 3 houses, 3 families, sorry, and there's one house, one family, and so on. So they then prioritizing in this area, but still they have to prove to show to the donors, to show to the government who also involved in this project, in the program, uh, whether our selections or the student selection and us is arguable. So have a good rationale. So this one is the axonometry, and we showing to the donors community. In one house, there are 5 family. They have their own area. They have share rooms, and also uh, concluded by one house, 5 families, five families. But the condition of this house is not as good as this computerized axonal, but this is also for others houses that we select for uh, to be reconstructed is like the same. So you can see this is the situations condition of the house, which lived by 5 families, 11 members. So this is another with the case 6 for family number 14 and 15, and case 3 family number 10, only one family, and this is one house, 2 families. And then we also have similarity of the case 4 room conditions, like this. You can imagine how they can live uh, with these conditions. And against MGK, or bathroom, washroom on WC, usually has the worst in the house. So then we're discussing. So this is the teams of the students and uh, donors coming also here. That is from BS survey results, and then followed by the we hearing with community, interviewing them whether what kind of house they want to have with their own land, and we discuss, and we uh, designing with them, and they give input, and we work directly and creating studio works at the Kampung. And this is one of the model that is not all is what is called um, uh, agreed by the community, or if community agree, the donor is not, or the budget is have a same budget all for the families. And then well, of course, I don't know, one the newspaper always come to us, maybe because of the PRI inform to this project, and they asking community directly. And this is before we have a groundbreakings. We um, have a consensus which ones of the alternative of the designs which uh, community like donors also agree with the support, government also understanding the improvement, and community also uh, not have a problem with the land status, with the uh, setting, and so on. So this is the example of the poster that we prepare for the groundbreakings, and then we started with the groundbreaking here, a ceremony. So everybody coming with the hope, and yes, we have what we call as the tagline of our department: better space, better living, and better community. So this is our city manager also coming for this groundbreaking by removing or dismantling tiles from the roof. This is one of the ceremony, but we are not looking at only ceremony, because the hard work is after the ceremony. So every maybe 3 days, our students come to the place looking at how or whether there's a problem of uh, um, the constructions, and also we know that they don't have any other rooms. So while they um, renovate their house, renew their house, they have to still sleep in this area. So um, they just working together. Why is working together? Because they will make efficient for resources. Of course, there's a yard housewife also working and giving the food, for example, and also uh, bring the waters. And I think this is specific for Indonesian Kampung people. It's called Gotong Royong Mutual Help, and it's become our spirit of all Indonesian who should do gotong royong for every problem that we have to we have to solve. So while we have construction uh, undergoing, and that time many professor comings, and also the PRI also coming here. There's one of the director of social responsibility, Mr. Ali there, Mr. Pambang there, with student from foreign. I think I cannot have many photos because only student have photos on that. And this is also sometimes we just want to have um, well Wi-Fi or photograph here to have a spirit, because working with people, we have to spend our energy, we have to spend our time, even sometimes spend our financial support by ourselves. So this is become the thing that we can learn from. And um, after the renovations, we can see how renewing the structure. This is the before. They have a temporary structure and it's become using the concrete one. And before, they have unorganized things in a bathroom, and now it's better than that. This is a good thing, because before in 2012, and I just take a picture yesterday with the same televisions, they have improved so much on the uh, uh, interior. So the house is improved. I think the life is improved. This is for like this before, and now have the flat televisions, and uh, kids has been already using mobile phone. It cannot happen before 8 years ago. So by improving the house, they can think about other business, other dealing with, for example, working and so on. So this is one of the example of one of the RT33. And also we also renovate house, renewing the structures. Actually, this is a cluster that all of them is actually traditional one. Before, we have 2000 with un plan extended room using veranda space, which is for the tropical architecture, is very important. So we give back again this position. So this is last week photos to see the verandas, a place for healthy tropical spread of and also interaction to neighbors, is recreated again. So this is also the worst part of the cluster, and now become more spacious things. and they still keep clean comparing with 8 years ago. Oh, sorry, more than 8, 9 years ago. 9 years ago. So uh, creating a parent friendly for each family, and they have been still keep clean there all those 9 years. And this is surprising me. One of these houses have interior that's luxurious because they then have a shop, and also even I don't know which one actually the original of the family uh, living rooms. I'm trying to see, and because when I take a picture last week, it I cannot interview so long because still COVID protocols. But when I'm looking at this, I'm really happy for that because it's very much improved the condition comparing with before the renovations. This is also in 2012. We looking at this one, and after in the 3 months after uh, construction is this one, the green one. But then 9 years later on, yes, this is family one. There's one family in one house, and we try to make one family, one unit of the house, and then but in 2021, family one still using and family using this structure, but they extend in front part of the houses. Family two still no extension, but family three, I don't know because they have already enough money. They have vertical extensions. So this part is not uh, our beneficiaries because in 2012 we have already good condition, so we are not working on that one. So this is the, sorry, I have to make it better. uh, this is condition also the renewal house remain the structure of the house, which this is 2012. They have been also make a shop, and now it's become better conditions. This is another in RT 33, which is improving the surrounding. This is the first before the renovations, and then like this. And what I'm also surprising is that before they have alley like this, and after this is the same. This is the corner. This is the corner, and have a more good structure. And when we looking at this one area, the most is blocked by this housing. When we working for renovation of the areas, then we have a really nice wider open space, a good condition of houses, and although it's a very well still narrow because we only open two or maybe 2.5 meters, but we have a good space for children, a good space for interaction among the families here. So this is also the renovated one, and here is the same, a good
Excuse me,
conditions.
excuse me, Ikaputra.
Yeah, yeah.
We see the pages with writing presentation of the existing condition, and there is just some people.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. This is this small one is the before. This is the big one is the after. Sorry.
no, no,
Oh yeah,
no.
this.
We cannot see. Can anybody see the page? Ikaputra description.
Which one here?
Ikaputra, this one is dulu. I thought your screen is freeze on the page where you shown the meeting on the university.
Huh?
Maybe your network is a bit of like or error
Dari yang
something.
dulu?
Yes,
Yang dari yang
from
mana,
the
Mbak?
slide where you shown like there's a meeting in our university.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? This is a very long. Okay, stop. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe my internet is not good, and yeah, this is
Yeah, of course.
yeah. Um, well, this is the community that we invited to our university to see what the result of the field survey of the students with supervisor, with the donors from the bank, and also the community also is in the middle. So then after the meeting in our university, we back to the community in the Kampung, and we have continue interviewing the beneficiary needs, what kind of the housing that they want to be designed. And then here we work for plan, and also the rooms that we arrange, and trying to have a understanding of the beneficiaries families, and we make the studio on a kampung on spot studios, and it is a design proposal for innovations. And the first we work for two building in some cases, but the donors say no because it's the money is not enough. And then we prepare for um, poster for groundbreaking ceremonies, and groundbreaking ceremony we have uh, the city majors coming, and also the PRI, and then our head of department also coming, and then we continue into the construction. And what we see is they have a gotong royong mutual help of neighbors. How they vessel they work together, carpenters, yacht, housewife. They work for help for food, also sometimes also for the bringing the water for cement and so on. So while we foreign comings, and also the director of the bank PRI also coming here, and we learn together. And this is a team of the teamworks of the students, people, lecturers, community, and so on. So then this is the result, renewing the structure of the house on the life. Are you still having our picture, my pictures?
Yes, we can see. Yes.
Okay, this is the before we renovated, before we renewing, we have this like this, and then after 3 months we have new constructions, and you can see how the condition of the bedroom, for example, like this before and after. In 3 months have a more clean, more structurally strong. And this is a picture of my picture last week, and we have a before into 2012, and we still have the television there, but in with conditions much better. And this one also other houses in this same uh, area, and you can see the kid have been uh, well reading, and also uh, using mobile phone here. And this is also we recreated again the verandas, which is discontinued because they have extended room using veranda space, and it's not good uh, extensions. And we recreate again because the veranda is become actually is a healthy tropical space and interaction to neighbors. And this is also we create in the others area RT39s, and we have temporal walls and uncrossed alley space. And because we gave a setback, these ideas of the community and students making this wider and still clean until at least last week. So already 9 years. So and this is surprising me because one of the houses here rooms when I entering asking to enter, and as I found a luxurious living room, and even I trying to see my old picture or my student pictures, I cannot find which one, but this is quite nice. And this make us happy of these renovations. And this is also very interesting cases. So before we have three families in one house, and then we trying to make more private family, one unit, one family, two family, and family three. But in 2021, family one have one front part extension, family two no extension, family three vertical extension. And this one is not our beneficiaries because to 2012 already a good condition. So this is also 2012 here. The other uh, economic um, activities shop and then become better conditions. This is also when we looking at the uh, condition after 2012, and you can see how the condition of housing here, the same corner, and this is the same corner. And this is you can see we can looking at this part space as and the mosque there is blocked by the uh, well um, a house that is not good conditions in 2012. And after we reconstruct and we have a good space, although we only give a setback and make better condition of the house structure and so on, but we have a good open space for kids for their social interactions toward the mosque. And this one also another area of the cluster that we reconstructed. And yesterday or last week, sorry, they have already have a good uh, uh, terrace, a good gathering place, and the renovations make the future of family better. And this is one of the promotion of the BRI or bank. And lesson learned. Actually, I don't want to showing the video. You can see the in the YouTube, but at least I can showing you the lesson learned. There are still a number of rumah tak layak huni or inhabitable house in Kampung. It needs to support Kampung's people to have healthy and inhabitable house. And community-based project make students, make a lecturer, make the donors understand the gap between sorry for student theory and real world. And community-based design is a place to motivate us to build empathy for marginal people because we have to cope not only with technical problem but also social and community problem as well as the ego of the architect itself as an architect. For example, when you do work for community, you have to spend your time, spend your well energy, and also even financial support. and explain the process for designing what is very important for students and volunteers who involved in this one. But for the people, the community involvement is strengthening the togetherness and coping the limited resources they have. Last but not least, actually, we are happy when people satisfied. So this one, I think the video that you can search for this, but what the good part is this one. Yeah, this one showing that uh, how the housewife also working, how the process of this. He really happy because it's fast and also nice. For the first time, this wife have been already help the process, and the household coming to help after get the carpenters after they from working. So he want to see the design implemented. So yeah, terima kasih, and sorry, apologize for any inconvenience because of the connection. Terima kasih.
Okay, is it good?
Yes, yes, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, good night, Mr. Ikaputra and all of the webinar participants. Hello, my name is Lulu. I was Mr. Ikaputra student back then in 2012, I think. So basically, Creature Community Works is like 8 years ago, but somehow until now, we kind of still remember about this precious experience, because that one is like a chance for us like to have a voluntary work with the people, with the society. We're not only working based on our knowledge as an architect and as urban design, but also we try to like make a communication with the people, which is it's kind of like difficult at the very beginning of uh, our work with them, because we try to understand how is their situation, try to get what is their expectation, and we try to make it for reality. So it's kind of like a very precious experience for us. So it's kind of very nostalgic also for me to see this presentation. So I kind of like jumping into excited that now we, through Pak Ikaputra presentation, we can see the Kampung development in 2020, 2021, also like that. So I kind of happy for this session can brought to in this
Thank
webinar.
you, Look.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Ikaputra.